Well, it's nearing 5:30 and I'm going to hear from she who must be obeyed. Is so funny to say that. And I've started my design. I just thought I'd let you know. It's going to be something like this. It's going to fit in there like this under the wire. Let me get the one. Yeah, here. It's going to fit like that. It's going to be a little wider, okay? The motor's going to hang down underneath on a plate, and there's going to be a lid with a hole in it. And I'm going to line up the smoke and see how that's all going to work. But it's going to be something like that. I spent the day doing the design work. I did a couple of sketches, scratched my head, and came up with a pretty good final design that I went ahead and put into my CAD system. So you can see here what the shape's going to look like. It's going to be a motor mount. That little flat plate is what the motor's going to mount to. It looks like this, you see. So it's easy to fit the motor to this plate, and then you slip the fan on it, okay? And then this plate and the fan will sit up, and there's 4 bolt holes to tie it down. That's how that works. Now, the fan is sort of like a vortex fan in that it pulls air through the center. In this case, it's going to pull air right down that center hole into the blades and then throw it to the outside. And then the outside, if I can get rid of this top plate, you'll see that the fan will throw the air around, and as it hits this outer wall, there's a hole there, and it's going to go right out in. I'm going to open this up so it's a little more angular. So the air is going to be pressurized inside this cavity, okay? And this cavity is deep. You can see it's like almost 25 millimeters deep. So there's about twice as much cubic space as the standard smoke in this cavity. It's deep, I understand that. But what we have is a material that we put in there. We don't use angel hair on these designs. We use something that's more rigid. It's called rock wool, but it's a very rigid and porous, and the oil just soaks right into that thing. So what we'll do is we'll cut out a chunk that fits down inside here. And it'll come up to about here, and it'll be soaked with oil. And you don't want the heater coil to hang too low. I don't have any heater coils, but they're sort of a green coated resistor. And they mount, if I get the body back, get the lid back up here, they mount on these 2 openings up here in the lid. So you can see the smoke would hang down from here and would get up to 180 to 200 degrees centigrade, and the hot would it would get hot enough that it'd evaporate the oil, and then it creates the smoke. Now the fan is going to be pressurizing this cavity, and the only hole is up the top, so it's going to be pushing that smoke as it is created out the top. And then these 4 screws, 6 screws actually, will bolt this lid down and seal it so the fan doesn't leak and the smoke doesn't leak out. Very similar to the way we have it on our current steam engine smoke. So that's the design I came up with. I actually started with some other parts. Let's see if I can find them. No, there's the old lid. There's something else, I don't know what that is. And there's the body around there somewhere. I don't know where it went, but it's gone now. There's a body. I cut it off. That was a steam engine smoke, and I just cut it off. Okay. That's pretty cool. A lot of capability in this tool, and gives me a lot of flexibility. I actually drew this twice. I had it up here before, and I hate to say, but I lost it, and I had to come back and do it again, but we got it now. So then you turn this over to a slicer program, and it decides on the best place to put it in, the best location on your printer, and then you can see it, how it's going to be built. You can see what the printer is going to do first, second, and third as it builds up the layers. And the blue is support and the red is your part. Then you save this to a little board. This is called a sliced part or a slice. So you save it and then you stick it in your printer. And here you can see the printer is doing 225 degrees C, which is pretty doggone hot. And the bed itself is about 80 degrees C, and we're about 60% through. We got about 45 minutes into this, so we're another 45 minutes to go, just about. You're not really going to see the part because there's a whole lot of support on this thing around the sides. There's an edge. You can see that edge, and you can see that edge. That's where the motor's going to fit into, I think. I put a lot of these holes in it after I've designed the part. I wanted to get the raw shape. This is going to be done in what's called a pour. It's going to be very thin, porous kind of thing, and it'll be functional from a fitting point of view, but I wouldn't want to run it with the heat and all. So once I get that test fit, I can come back up here and make any changes that I need to make. And then these parts, I've been designing on it while it was printing. They have all of the holes for the mounting and the clearances for the fan and all that stuff. And then any changes I need to make from the fitting process, you know, if it needs to be longer, wider, shorter, whatever, I can do that, and then I'll be that much further ahead. All the holes will be in there. So I'm gonna probably get it after dinner. Then I'll bring it in here and I'll fit it up. I'll put in a reverse unit. I'll mount the reverse unit right where it would be. I'll fit it in here. Then I'll get the unit and I'll find out where the hole is supposed to be for the exhaust. And I'll move it around as I need to. And I'll put in a little, I threaded it so I should be able to thread in one of those plastic lid thingies, okay? And it will stick up into the roof, I think. And I tried to design it so it's very close to the top. Maybe I'll put some foam tape, you know, to create a little seal when it goes up. But I think we're going to be okay as far as that goes. Now we still have the question of how am I going to condition this? And I don't think I have room here to stuff these in. It's pretty right there, okay? You can't go sideways, you know, it's too tall, because that comes right up to the top. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, unless I put it in a tender. Put all of the power conditioning in the tender, put in my all-wheel pickups there, and then bring the power over for the smoke. Have the smoke power in the tender, bring the smoke over to the smoke unit. The truck power here should be, you know, because I have these things now, right? So I build 4 of those and set them up. I gotta have all-wheel pickup here for the engine, for the drives, and then all-wheel pickup here that would drive the smoke. And then the soundboard would have to go here anyway, right? Because there's no room here. When you have dual drive, look, you have no space with dual drive. So that's how I'm going to work it. I'm going to build it for the dual drive, and then if you have a single, it'll fit easily in the single. No problemo. We'll work it out. Where the reverse goes and then where the smoke needs to go. May have to come up with some kind of a adapter plate that fills in here, bolts down here and here maybe, then the smoke would sit on top of it. That's easy, very easy. So the smoke will be in the same position on both of them regardless of what the bottom looks like. If it's single drive and you need a speaker, we still have room here and back here. Put the soundboard and a speaker, and then also we should have room for the boards. Yeah, see that? Could almost fit them there. You could put them up on an angle if you had to. Or they could actually, look, oh yeah, they could go up on their side like that and be fine. So we've got it for the single drive, should be fine, designed for the dual, and you can run it, and then if you have A and B, you're all set. Okay, so that's where we are, and that's what I did this afternoon after I had that thought process about what I was going to do and how I was going to end up. So we're 51 minutes in and we're 70% complete, so I think after dinner this will be ready to knock off, clean out, and do a test fit. I don't know if I'll be allowed to do any editing. Sometimes they don't allow that. Don't ask me. I don't make up the rules. I just live here and get fed, so I can't complain very much. But it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really, really cool. You'll see it. You'll see it tomorrow for sure. Okay, that's what I got. That's where I'm at. Boom. Smoke cube for the Alco. Turned out different than I thought, but it's still, you know, it's a cube in a sense. What takes the cube away is that when you put the motor down, you end up with a lot of space around there, but that's going to be okay. It's going to be just fine. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye.